The forgotten hell of Nazino Island, Russia's cannibal island. Imagine an island, isolated, swampy, cold, surrounded by the roaring currents of a Siberian river. No houses, no food, no shelter, and thousands of people dumped there, to die. This is not fiction. This is not a horror movie. This is Nazino Island, Russia, 1933. A place that history tried to forget. But the screams, the hunger, the horror, still echo through the silence of the past. Welcome to Cannibal Island. It began under Stalin's regime, an era marked by purges, forced collectivization, and gulags. The Soviet Union, in its ruthless attempt to cleanse cities of so-called undesirables, came up with a terrifying idea. What if we deported the homeless, the poor, and the criminals to remote islands, and made them build utopias from nothing? A labor settlement, they called it. In reality, it became a mass human dumping ground. On May 1933, nearly 6,000 people, many of them innocent, were loaded onto cramped barges. No tools, no food, no supplies. They were promised work. They were promised a second chance. What they got instead was a slow and brutal death. When they arrived on Nazino Island, a small patch of land in the Ob River, the nightmare truly began. There were no buildings, no clean water, and no roads. Just mud, mosquitoes, and bitter cold. The guards, untrained and cruel, began enforcing order with bullets. And within just a few days, people began dying. But the real horror, the one that turned this island into a cursed memory: cannibalism. With no food provided, prisoners began to kill each other for flesh. Some cut meat from the living. Others waited for the weak to collapse, and then devoured them. Eyewitnesses, those few who survived, told of women being chained to trees, mutilated alive. Of men butchering their own comrades to survive one more night. Of rotting corpses piled up along the riverbank, picked clean to the bone. One survivor said, people were dying everywhere. At night, you'd hear screams, and by morning, there'd be bones. Only a few hundred survived after just 13 weeks. Thousands died from disease, exposure, or were eaten by their fellow prisoners. When investigators finally arrived, what they found was beyond comprehension. Bodies with missing limbs, fire pits filled with human remains, and people so far gone they had forgotten language itself, communicating only in animal-like sounds. The Soviets tried to cover it up. They burned reports, silenced witnesses, and pretended Nazino Island never existed. But history has a way of revealing hidden sins. In the 1980s, a secret report known as the Nazino Tragedy surfaced, describing the horror in graphic detail. It shocked the world, but even today, it remains a little-known chapter in Russia's dark history. Musical note: pause, somber music fade in. Why did this happen?